Western Azerbaijan Community, established as a Society of Azerbaijani Refugees in 1989 and renamed to Western Azerbaijan Community in 2022. Our organization is dedicated to championing the right to return of Azerbaijanis expelled from Armenia during the last century. Who are Western Azerbaijanis? Azerbaijanis expelled from Armenia have always been called Western Azerbaijanis by themselves and others as a matter of historical connotation. Use of Western Azerbaijan as the name of the community derives from the basic human right of self-identification and doesn't have any political or territorial connotation. Let's take a closer look at the tragic story of Western Azerbaijanis. The Azerbaijani people have suffered greatly from armed conflicts, occupation, ethnic cleansing, forced relocation and genocide over the past 2 centuries. Azerbaijanis constitutes over 80% of population in Khanate of Yerevan, whose territory largely corresponds to that of nowadays Armenia. The complete expulsion of Azerbaijanis from what is now Armenia, where they once constituted the majority and lived at their ancestral land, was finalized in 1991. As a result of ethnic cleansing, no single Azerbaijani lives in those lands. These acts were systematically carried out with the state support, involving violence, genocidal acts and other crimes against humanity. The expulsions were particularly violent in 1905, 1906, 1918 to 1921, 1948 to 1953, and 1987 to 1991. This third deportation, ordered by Stalin, resulted in the deaths of many of the over 100,000 deportees due to the bad living conditions and harsh climate conditions. The last deportation between 1987 and 1991 turned Armenia into a monoethnic country. Over 300,000 Azerbaijanis were forcibly displaced, with 216 brutally killed. Their homes were destroyed, property forcibly taken.
They took our properties, cattle and money by force, broke into our houses, threw us out of there, made us leave.
Azerbaijani cultural heritage in Armenia is systematically eradicated. More than 300 mosques and 500 cemeteries were demolished, with the sole remaining blue mosque falsely presented as belonging to another country. Tapabashi Quarter in Yerevan, the last remaining piece Azerbaijani settlement architecture, is being demolished to erase the last traces of Azerbaijanis in the city. The intangible heritage, including the ashik art, carpets and culinary traditions, suffered severely. The ethnic cleansing shattered Goycha Ashik School, the cradle of Azerbaijani ashik art, recognized by UNESCO as intangible heritage of mankind. Azerbaijanis expelled from Armenia were organized as a Society of Azerbaijani Refugees in 1989. This body continued its activities until August 1, 2022, when it was reformed as a Western Azerbaijan Community. The community has an inclusive representation from all segments of Western Azerbaijanis, with most leadership being well-known intellectuals. The community has very active women and youth branches, testifying to broad support from the cause within expelled Azerbaijanis. On December 24, 2022, Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev's visit to the Western Azerbaijani community, his address to the meeting with a group of Western Azerbaijani intellectuals, instilled hope. On January 26, 2023, the community adopted its concept of return, rejecting the injustices committed over the past 2 centuries, and declaring their primary goal to create conditions from the return of expelled Azerbaijanis and ensure their rights based on international law. The community carries out events dedicated to revival and preservation of cultural values, customs and traditions of Western Azerbaijanis and enlightening of the prospects of peaceful, safe, and dignified return. The inclusion of Ashik art in the list of intangible cultural heritage of UNESCO at the initiative of the first Vice President Mehriban Aliyeva played a crucial role in revival and resilience of Gocha Ashik School and works of its luminaries, including Ashik Al-Askar as the universal cultural value. The community interacts with UNESCO on issues relating to preservation of Azerbaijani cultural heritage in Armenia. The Western Azerbaijan community actively advances its mission aimed at galvanizing international support for its lawful mission. It has held numerous conferences and advocacy events. The community sent appeals to international organizations and countries and actively participates in the work of human rights bodies of the United Nations, OIC, and other pertinent organizations. In May 2024, the OIC Banjul Summit, 57 member states adopted a decision to support the right of return for Western Azerbaijanis and condemned Armenia for the destruction of Muslim heritage in this country. Western Azerbaijan community seeks a peaceful, secure, and dignified return of Western Azerbaijanis to their ancestral lands, in line with international law principles, helping our mission, supporting Azerbaijani refugees, and advocating for their rights, serve peace and justice.
Ben tam inanıram ki her şey adalet namına değişecek bizim bölgede. Azerbaycan halkının bəza-bəziyyəti onun xeyrinə dəyişəcək və mütləq siz gələcəkdə hələ gedib öz gözəl Göyçə torpağını da görəcəksiniz. Öz doğma dağlarınıza, bulaqlarınızı, çaylarını da görəcəksiniz. Ata-babalarının qəbirlərini də görəcəksiniz.
We believe in wisdom and foresight of the great leader of Azerbaijanis, Haydar Aliyev, who always cared for Western Azerbaijanis. Haydar Aliyev's dedication to our cause continues to inspire our mission. We believe in peaceful return to our homes.